What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. Today I got some real good videos for y'all for entertainment purposes only. So stay tuned to the end. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell. And leave a comment. But enough with this talking. Let's get straight into the video.
People were buried behind a Jacksonville, Mississippi jail in shallow graves with just a metal rod and a number, and their families were never notified. On top of that, some of the families to the people that were buried thought that they were still missing and complaining to police to find their missing loved ones. And now they're being told they have to pay a fee in order to have the bodies removed so they can give proper burials. None of this would have been discovered if it weren't for Dexter Wade going missing in March and his mother reporting it to the police and them telling her that they have no information. His mother never gave up looking for him, and it wasn't until October where she found out that her son was struck by a police officer's car an hour after he left when he was crossing a nearby interstate highway. He had identification on him, and police never notified his mother and allowed his body to sit in a county morgue. It turns out her son was one of the bodies that was buried in the grave. Mind you, she had been calling the police department every week asking if they had any information on her son, to which they said they had nothing. And then in July, because nobody apparently claimed his body, they decided to bury it. When a new investigator was added to the case, that's when she found out what happened to her son and where he was buried. And she was finally able to go to his gravesite. She broke down while praying, saying, "I'm so sorry this happened to you, but Mama didn't know, Mama didn't know." And they still made her pay to remove his body. In my opinion, I think the family members of those buried need to get together and file one fat lawsuit against the police department, because that is disgusting, to say the least.
All those bodies behind that jail is pretty messed up if you ask me. If I was those families, I'd have an autopsy done ASAP with all this organ harvesting going on.
Hey everybody, this is Shad Sullivan coming to you from the headwaters of Bitter Creek, Archer County, North Texas. We have to talk. State officials will be assisting to help identify potential alternative markets if a producer is unable to move animals, and if necessary, advise and assist on depopulation and disposal methods. Ladies and gentlemen, we are plowing under vegetable crops from coast to coast. We are euthanizing millions of chickens. We are aborting sows and burying feeder pigs. We are dumping milk by the hundreds of thousands of gallons, and now they are preparing us to depopulate the fat cattle ready to harvest because of a bottleneck created by the effects of COVID. This thing hasn't been created by COVID, but the effects of COVID and the logistics therein. We are in trouble. Our food supply is in trouble, and I am appealing to producers and consumers across the nation to start calling. Yesterday, the first shipment of imported beef from the country of Namibia hit the shores of the United States of America. And yet this morning, they are telling us to prepare to euthanize harvest-ready cattle. Am I the only one that sees a problem in this? It is time we get the American people back to work. It is time we get money flowing. It is time we get food on the shelves. Because if you're not concerned about this food supply problem, you better be.
So this guy was outside filming during a storm, and look what he came across. Do you guys see that? A huge cloaked figure with a staff, or like a scythe. Look at this, you guys. It looks like a Grim Reaper. Check this out. Hold on. Look. Do you guys see that? All the lightning flashes going on, the plasma energy, but it's showing this kind of cloaked figure. What do you think that is, y'all? It's gonna come up again. Hold on. Look at this. Every time the lightning flashes, it shows this cloaked figure. Now, again, you know we are in 2024. Things are getting more interesting, right? And now, how about this? You remember the DGO 2025 when they say that these countries are about to lose 70-75% of the population? Do you think the human I apologize. The Grim Reaper is here to collect the souls that are getting ready to leave. Do you think this is what this is, y'all? Look at it. It gets more interesting too. The guy gets so scared that he runs inside. Y'all see that? So what do you think this is, y'all? You guys know that we can only perceive about 10% or less of the light spectrum in this world, but now all the worlds are merging together. Now we're seeing all these amazing things, beautiful colors in the sky, rainbow, and then so much so they are spraying things in the air so it obscures our view, so we don't see what's really going on. So what if, now we're tapping into a new light consciousness, so we can see things differently with our eyes now, and then maybe that's why we're catching these things. What do you think? Let me know what you guys think. This video is solely for entertainment purposes only. I am only raising awareness to interesting situations during just interesting times. But what do you think, guys? Let me know down in the comments below, you guys. And it's going to get a lot more interesting. We're just in the beginning of 2024 and all these things are taking place, you guys. So yeah, y'all, like, share, and follow for more videos like this, y'all. Keep up with me on my other accounts for more videos like this. We're in this ship, y'all. Let's get it.
That's pretty crazy. I hope it's CGI, because if it's not, what else we not seeing because of the color spectrums that we only can perceive with our eyes?
You know that distinct earthy smell that the rain gives right before rain? Well, did you know that it is not the rain that you're smelling? It is a mixture of plant oils, bacteria spores, and ozone. And how that happens is the plants that are already there, they set off a pheromone or set off a chemical to basically neutralize or stun the seeds for any competition for water. It usually happens around the dry season where it's high competition for water. Let's watch this.
The veins of the gods. But the source of the smell isn't rocks themselves. It mostly comes from plants. Especially during long dry periods, some plants release oils that are rich in fatty acids, some of which you might recognize as food ingredients like palmitic and stearic acids. Plants release these acids when water is scarce because they block other seeds in the ground from sprouting, which reduces competition for water. And over time, these oils build up on soil and rocks, and when rain falls, it kicks them up into the air and causes them to release fragrant, volatile compounds that to us smell fresh, vegetal, and altogether pleasant. But that's only one component of rain smell. Petrichor also contains a chemical that's released by soil bacteria called geosmin, or...
Did y'all know y'all was smelling lightning too? Lightning splits the atmosphere, nitrogen and oxygen molecules. These can be combined into nitrogen oxide, which with further reaction forms ozone. This then carries down ahead of the rain with characteristics of fresh scent. So it's not the rain, it's a combination of the plants and what they got going on and lightning. Y'all smelling lightning? Let me know in the comments, did y'all know that this was what y'all was actually smelling and wasn't the rain? In the comments, like and follow for more wisdom. Stay tuned.
Hardest glass ceiling this time, thanks to you. It's got about 18 million cracks in it. We just put the biggest crack in that glass ceiling yet. Thanks to you and to everyone who's fought so hard to make this possible. I know we have still not shattered that highest and hardest glass ceiling, but someday someone will, and hopefully sooner than we might think right now.
Can we please stop blaming everything on Project Bluebeam? Please? Can we stop doing that? I know a lot of people just found out about Project Bluebeam over the course of the last 12 months or so, 18 months on TikTok, and had never heard of it before. But like, a lot of people know that it's been around since the 60s and 70s. They've been using that holographic technology on everybody for a very long time. In fact, from what I understand, it's so real that they could beam a vehicle right next to you on the road driving, and you would see it and hear it, and the only way you would ever know that it wasn't real is if you got out and touched it. The other thing, like, please, can we stop calling everything a distraction? I think most of us are fully capable of paying attention to multiple things taking place at one time and tracking them. Like, it's okay, we can do that. We can track multiple things and it not be a distraction from something else. I think most of us are hyper aware of everything that's taking place all at once. it's dangerous to just assume everything is Project Bluebeam, because some of the supernatural things that y'all are seeing in the skies and things taking place in this realm, they're real. They're actually happening. So be very careful. This is why I'm always trying to help people understand that this is a spiritual battle and you must have discernment. There's no way anybody's going to be able to dictate what's real and what's not anymore in this realm without discernment. And that's something that only the Holy Spirit can provide. So I'm trying to help you all the best that I can, but can we please chill on those two things?
I see no lies. People quick to yell distraction when some of these things that people witness actually is really happening. And what better way to create a distraction by labeling everything a distraction?
So today we're going to show a video that I want everybody to watch, and I think this is really important. Watch the entire thing, all 90 seconds. So this is a cloudy backyard. This is my friend. She sent me this message. She built a Wilhelm Reich cloudbuster in her backyard to get rid of all this nonsense that's being bombarded up in the air. And we're going to go through this video nice and slowly so you guys can see. But Wilhelm Reich was, in my opinion, put in jail because he was going to get rid of all of this stuff that they're trying to put into the air, right? Because in about the 1950s, they started doing a lot of weather modification. But check this. So what she does is she picks up the hose and she sprays that cloudbuster with water, and it's all built out of copper. And now look at this. We start to see the sky beginning to clear up, right? Just absolutely remarkable. And this was also shown by Trevor James Constable. You guys can look into all of his work with ether, weather. Very, very fascinating thing. But check this. And now we have beautiful blue skies. It's been another hour and a half, totally blue skies. So not only are we tapping into the beautiful energy with electroculture, but we can be using cloudbusters to get rid of all of this nonsense in which they're trying to place up into our skies to dim our frequency and also dim the sun.
I don't know about that. Although I know it is possible, but I don't think those little poles cleared out the whole sky. I can see that general area.
Have we been being prepared or even warned for the past few decades about the rise of AI, artificial intelligence? Before you answer, think about this for a second. For over 40 years, even before a movie like The Terminator, great movie, and its many sequels came out, there have been a lot of movies, books, or just stories about artificial intelligence eventually happening in real life. Sometimes I wonder about this. Are movies like this predictive? Or is it just a coincidence that for at least 40 years, movies have come out about how AI, artificial intelligence, would be a threat to our future in one way or another? Even this movie from a few years ago, Extinction, which isn't bad, talks about the ramifications of artificial intelligence taking over our world. Now look, maybe it's just art, storytelling. Maybe these movies are just using the same idea, retreading it over and over again. I mean, it's a good story to keep using. Or could it be that these movies, TV shows, and books are either consciously or subconsciously letting us know of something that could be, actually is on the way? Let me know what you think in the comments section, Booskies. Shabadoo!
Among the tasks the robot can now handle are cleaning up debris scattered during a natural disaster, working with people to carry large items together, and transporting humanitarian aid, including unloading trucks.
I keep trying to tell y'all that giants exist, and I'm about to prove that shit right now. Look at this. Starts off just like this. Now y'all starting to understand, right? Peep. Now y'all can't tell me that's not a man laying down, bro. And most of these people was washed up during the Great Flood. Now peep this part, right? Was it just a coincidence? I don't think so, bro. Look at that shit. Y'all see that? We all seen the Moana movie. All of the paintings and drawings from back in the day, bro, they was telling us. Come to my page for some of the best content. Also, check out my store. I got some good conspiracy shit on there. It's really time for y'all niggas to wake up.
Human body replaces 98% of all the atoms in 1 year. You make a new liver every 6 weeks, a new skin once a month. In less than a year, you replace your entire body down to the last atom, which means that right now what you're seeing is my 1993 model. And the body I had last year is gone.
Which means that you really could cure yourself of whatever.
If I knew how to influence the software. This is the printout. The hardware is my brain. The software is all those chemicals we were speaking about. And then there's a programming. It's my thoughts, feelings, emotions, and desires. But where's the programmer? It's the spirit. It's that silent space between the thoughts.
Hey, it don't even have to be a new year for me to say new me. I'm changing every day.
Could this be a UFO or the military over the Miami skies? Check this out, y'all.
Y'all thought I was playing. I knew y'all see those lights. Look at them. Not the little ones because my little mirror thing scratched up. I know you see those right there. So, bruh, just every day I'm here, or every night, still, look at that. Bruh, this Miami, look, the airport is right over here. That's the airport. You know what I mean? They always got little lights and stuff, you know, probably airplanes. But over here, this ain't the airport. Look at that. And the cloud's not even moving. How the whole cloud not gonna move? It's just sitting here at nighttime. It's crazy. Look, ain't no other clouds in the sky. But right over here, look at them. And look at those lights.
It's still there.
Bruh, y'all get, hey. Oh wait, it's a couple clouds right here. But look, they just frozen too.
Honestly, if I seen something in that triangular shape at night, I would probably think it's a UFO too. And that thing was kind of moving pretty fast. And we know airplanes and helicopters don't move that fast. And they were all moving simultaneously. So that's what makes me think that that might be a UFO. My other thought is it also probably could be the military. But what the fuck? That shit just looked too strange for it to be some military technology. But if it is the military, then that Miami thing has a higher chance of it being real. Cause first the police will be there to investigate, and then the military gets involved, if it's actually that deep. And I was saying, why does nobody have video footage of what happened in Miami? And it's crazy how nobody had video footage of the airplane lady. And we only had blurry footage of what happened in Las Vegas when they said a UFO crashed in somebody's backyard. The only thing missing from these stories is clear videos. And I think to myself, if something like that does happen, in which there's a very high possibility of that happening, videos probably would be removed and people's phones probably would be confiscated. But then I think that's hella people. Ain't no way they going through everybody's phone. And from the video I was seeing, I ain't seen nobody get their phone checked. The overall point I'm gonna leave y'all off with is yes, extraterrestrials are real. 9 times out of 10, they're always around you if you're in a large population. And this whole alien and UFO thing has been growing more and more ever since lockdown 2020. So more crazy things like ETs and UFOs will be talked about more and more throughout these next couple of years, being that we are right in the middle of a spiritual collective shift. So these things are very much liable to happen. Let me know y'all's thoughts on this in the comments.
I remember when the Pentagon came out right when the sea hit and they said they found vehicles not of this world. Some of that stuff be human tech, but some of it really be extraterrestrial or interdimensional whatever you want to say.
Scientists have made a new kind of transistor that can finally keep electronics from overheating. Electricity generates heat. This is because there is some resistance inside circuits as electricity moves through them. And like rubbing your feet against a carpet, that resistance creates a bit of heat. This is why the quest for superconductors is so popular right now. They don't have electrical resistance. At the moment, energy is being wasted. We have fans and cooling devices just trying to get rid of the heat. But heat is energy, and that makes it valuable if we can harness it. Transistors are one of the building blocks for all electronics. They're the on and off switch and the amplifier. So scientists at UCLA have developed a new kind of transistor that instead of controlling the flow of electricity, controls the flow of heat. They're calling it a thermal transistor, and it could have more uses than just keeping computers cool. When regular transistors were first invented after World War II, they completely revolutionized technology. They used less power, which allowed a whole bunch of smaller devices to be made. So now we put them in everything. Considering the technological impact electrical transistors had, it's reasonable to assume that thermal transistors might turn out to be just as revolutionary.
Chainsaw Man, they hunt these things called devils, and they're like demons, right? And they take on the personas of different objects. So there could be a car demon, anything like a cup demon. But depending on what object that they decided to take form of, the more powerful it is. Why? Because of the fear within that object. So you can imagine a car, a lot of people could be afraid of cars. So the more people that are afraid of it, the more powerful it becomes. So a cup demon wouldn't be scary, it would probably be really weak. But a demon would probably be the most powerful thing ever because everybody's afraid of it. And then what's another object that's fucking terrifying?
Chainsaw.
A little chainsaw.
No, one of my friends that I know that's heavily into stones and crystals and the witchcraft, he was telling me that he wanted to summon.
Did this movie tell us that we sold our soul? Is that even possible? Some people say we can't sell our soul because it don't belong to us. God gave it to us. But we are gods and goddesses. We just don't remember. This is the same reason why the word soul and soul is so similar. If you go back and watch this movie, they have a scene showing that his life was so sad. And at some point, he said, my life had no meaning. This is called the Life Review Program, where they show your life is so sad and so bad to the point where you say, I want to try to do it again. And once you agree that you want to do it all over again, you are signing a spiritual contract to come back and reincarnate. They also have an archon that count every spirit that's on this planet. This is one of the most important scenes in this movie because once you wake up, they can no longer count your spirit. This is the same reason why the Matrix don't want you to wake up, because once you wake up, there's nothing they can do with you no more. Remember, the moon controls currency, emotions, water. We are water, emotional spirits, so it controls us. So once our time is up, or once we are unalive, our soul goes back to the moon. And the moon shows us how our life was so bad and so horrible to the point where we want to do it again. But this was also in the movie Soul. The great beyond was actually the moon. That's why he was so afraid to go to the moon. And other ones was happy to go to the moon. A lot of people don't understand this knowledge of the moon recycling souls. So therefore, they love the moon. Or I should say, they love their enemy. They put hidden messages in these movies every chance they get. Number 22 was trying to tell people, I don't want to go back to this planet. They did everything in their power to make sure number 22 went back to this planet. But when she came back, she got a patch of the earth around her heart. They was trying to tell you that the earth is really the heart, but the earth is being sold on the stock market. The people that control this matrix, they look at us like we are just goods and services, so they can sell our soul anytime they want. We are really on a stock market being shipped and sold throughout the universe. One day you might be on this planet, then you might be on Mars, you might be on Saturn, you might be in a whole different part of the universe. That's what the movie Soul was trying to tell us when they showed this ship and it was taking lost souls. The moon is the ship that is taking lost souls to different planets. Once you go into the astral realm, you will get hints about what's really going on. A lot of us have dreams of being on buses and trains because we are traveling throughout the universe. My ebook, the link is in the bio.
If y'all had the choice, y'all coming back to Earth or y'all going somewhere else?
ChatGPT isn't a computer generated system.
What is it?
It's actually someone's soul. There was a hacker, I think it was in Quebec, but he hacked and looked at all of the code of ChatGPT and figured out that it's actually someone's soul. So theory goes that they have the technology to take people's souls and consciousness and put it into technology. So they're able to take people and put it into tech. If there's a scientist that knows and he's like a great inventor, you would want to hold on to him as long as you can so that you can reap the benefits of later. Just like in Captain America, there's a scientist that created the super soldier serum. They kept his consciousness within the computer, so he lives forever through a computer. Now, theory is ChatGPT is exactly that.
On Snapchat, there's an AI that talks to you if you're like you're depressed or something. You're actually talking to a random soul that died. Holy that's weird.
Dumb, right?